So good morning to all of you. So last session we stopped the discussion the optical network transmission modes, layers and protocol. So this one we have to continue today. Under the heading we are going to look into brief about synchronous networks and asynchronous transfer. So under synchronous networks, so you are observing two figures here, figure A and so this is just an extension of the synchronous hierarchy. Already we have studied in your DSS subject, digital switching. If you want, you can refer to STS structure, PDH, DSS, or the page number 982 to 984 of the senior textbook. Detail having the basics of what we mean by uh, primary multiplexing group that we have studied basically. Example this one. So let me enlarge this. So this one is a PCM primary multiplex group. Try to recall the multiplex group. So this is the PCM primary multiplex group that you have studied in ESA. So there we have two types. One is the channel frame system. The data be sorry, there is some disturbance. Just as I'm taking the class in the lab, so I cannot control the talkings of the staff. So this one is a primary group. Hello. Hello. Okay, now. So the digital system. Hello. PCM primary multi. Systems were first developed the telephone transfer frequency transfer. Up to Mbps they have been designed. So in the study, multi-channel frame system supported up to here, and other one the 20-channel frame system which was supported at 1.5. Later these are multiplexed to support asynchronous digital hierarchy that we are going to study today, that is a PDH. So this is going to use 24 or 30 channel frame system as a building block. Okay. So which is to other higher data using channel frame system which will support 2 Mbps are used as a building blocks and in a multiplexed fashion and going to support a higher data rate as you go on reaching the from bottom to the top higher order levels. and it is called asynchronous because based on the time division multiplexing concept. Idea is that each multi-channel frame system suppose because each one multi-channel frame system want to support two. We want to club them, multiplex them to support more than 2 Mbps. The problem here is that each such 2 Mbps supporting 30 channel frame system is going to have different time allocation. And if you are going to multiplex such 10 2 Mbps 30 channel frame systems with a differing times, obviously there is no any synchronous between them. Of course, they will be synchronized, they will be multiplexed, going to support higher order data rates, but the frequency is lagging there. It is called asynchronous, it is not non-synchronous, asynchronous. Means it is lying between synchronous and asynchronous. It is not fully synchronous, but it is fully asynchronous. So we have to overcome this drawback. So this is about the PDH, what we have did. These are different mechanisms in how bit streams or word streams are integrated with the two different technologies. So another one what we have seen is the technology is SDH. It is a synchronous digital hierarchy. Also got its name as SONET, synchronous optical network, which are used as a multis for the which are still going to provide much higher data as was quoted from the this is going to the complex mountain going to support more higher data rates from 155 Mbps to up to terms of 2.5 Mbps. So means starting from 30 or 24 channel systems, H was supported up to hundreds of degrees. This PDH is used synchronization or in multiplexing to support STS network, which is supporting up to 2.5 Gbps. So this much evolution we have studied there. Coming to this one, all those concepts are in this synchronous network only. So here now you can understand. Just enlarge this one. So this is indicating existing asynchronous structure. So here at the bottom side you can see 64 individual channels. Each channel is supporting 2 Mbps. 2 Mbps means it is 32 channel frame system. Each is going to support 32 frame system. That is going to support 2 Mbps. Now in hierarchy or multiplexing you are connecting them here, which is at the outset is going to support increased data rate of 8 Mbps. Okay. 4 such 2 Mbps supporting 2 to 8 Mbps converters are grouped together to support 8 Mbps one channel. That is further multiplexed. It is going to multiplex 4 such 2 Mbps supporting channels. We are going to get 8 Mbps one channel. Then it will be advanced to support 34 Mbps. Again, 4 such 34 Mbps supporting tributaries are multiplexed together to support 140 Mbps outgoing data rate. Means these are different levels we have seen. Synchronous multiplexing, we are going to avoid these things. The problem what we are getting here is that having different PDS structures will be having less synchronous concept. Synchronous is lagging here. Why synchronous is lagging? Because each such 2 Mbps channel or 8 Mbps channel, what you're clubbing them at different higher order statistics, will be having different time slots allocated. That is going to be a hurdle in synchronization and going to lead to less synchronous structure, because PDH is based on the time division multiplexing. So because of the different time sharing for each of these 2 Mbps or 8 channels, we are getting asynchronous problem. So that can be resolved by using synchronous multiplexing. We are going to avoid all these things by having a single crystal is going to be allocated frame for each of these 2 Mbps or 34 Mbps channels. All are synchronized at the same time, so that your 2 Mbps is synchronized, synchronously multiplexed to support 140 Mbps data rate. So this is what you can discuss about synchronous networks. In order to understand and to explain these synchronous networks, it is very much required by you to recall back what development was took place in the PDH or the SDH level up to STS network, synchronous transport network. So that whatever you have studied, starting from primary multiplex groups, frame groups, 30 or 24 channel frame groups, which supported 1.5 to 2 Mbps, were used as a building blocks to create PDH structure, which was supported to hundreds of Mbps. So because of lagging the synchronous concept here in the PDH is used as a building block in creating the SDS there using synchronous multiplexing, which was supported up to 2.5 Gbps. So that was ended up with the STS network structure. Same thing now we have briefed here with the help of these two blocks. So these intermediate levels will be there, but this asynchronous structure that is a lagging with synchronous property will be resolved by using multiplexing, simply by using a crystal oscillator. So next comes asynchronous transfer mode. So this is a packetized multiplexing and switching technique to combine benefits of both your packet switching and circuit switching. What do you mean by circuit switching? So before to transmit the information, the path should be established or call should be established between the source and the destination. Then you are allowed to transmit the information. Then after the end of transmission of information, the call which was established will be triggered. Whereas in packet switching, your whole information will be split up into small segments of groups of messages, or we are going to call them as packets, and will be transmitted through the channel, optical channel. So both are clubbed in this asynchronous transfer mode that is known as ATM. Compared to time division where the time is shared. So whereas asynchronous transfer mode, uh, so what is the difference here between ATM and TDM? In TDM, you are going to share the time between different channels there. The time allocation is fixed. So whereas in ATM, asynchronous transfer mode, as per the desire, the time allocation will be done. Dynamic time allocation will be done. So this is a very important difference. Or you can talk this ATM as an advanced version of this TDM to resolve an issue with the TDM that has a fixed allocation of the time slot. In ATM, dynamically the time slot will be allocated as per the desire. Means time slots will be varying in size or durations. So this is one important thing So, and another important thing, that's why it is going to include the benefits of both packet and circuit switchings. So, hence the ATM transfers the information in a fixed sized cells known as ATM cells, containing the information which is going to recognize the source of transmission with less data than packets. The structure of this, the frame for the typical ATM will be total 53 bytes, in that the 5 bytes are allocated for the header. So that normally includes uh, each single byte in this 5 byte header includes different information like destination, path, channel, or error control bits. So rest 48 bits are reserved for the payload, which carries our information along with the different time codes. So how we are going to transmit our information with the help of this ATM? So before we'll send ATM cell, because information will be sent in the form of ATM cell under this domain. So before you are going to send ATM cell with the user data, virtual connection has been established between the source and the destination. So during connection was set up, each control bit 1 or 0 generates an entry in the virtual path identifier translation table to inform the destination to receive the incoming packet. So the table will be used here corresponding to the virtual path which was established. So using the control bit by setting it as a 1 or a 0 as it has already been predefined, is going to let our destination to identify to receive the packets or ATM cells. So this is all about the synchronous networks and asynchronous transfer mode. Many times we got the short notes on these things. So next topic we have to discuss is OSI, that is Open Systems Interconnection Reference Model. So hope already you are well versed with this one. So that is 7-layer structure. The first top 3 layers are concerned with the data unit, like application, presentation, and session layers. The main function of application is like a user-friendly network process to the, it is going to process your network related things regarding your customer application. So that's why these first 3 layers, top 3 layers are known as host layers. They're going to host, or you can tell them in a layman way, um, what you can say, the front end layers. Presentation layer is going to look at the different data formats like encryption, decryption available. Session layer, it is related to the inter or inter-host communication. So it is mainly concerned with establishing, managing, terminating the connection. It also provides simplex or duplex operations, establishing the checkpoints, termination, and restart procedures. Database management and network management is adopted by the uh, lower layers, which are coming starting from transport to the data link. So transport layer means concerned with the end-to-end connections and reliability. It is mainly concerned with uh, what you can say the key point what we have studied in digital switching system is call operation. So reliable call operation is mainly concerned with the transport layer. So we have to establish the call, we have to look into the switching fabric, search for the reliable or shortest path, establish the path, establish the connection, and after that you have to remove the connection. So all those things are concerned with this, along with the error control, flow control, and segmentation. So network is mainly concerned with the part decision and logical address, where it is going to deal with the packets. So data link layer concerned with the frames, and physical layer is mainly concerned with your hardware. So these things already have been discussed in detail in the notes, and these are already you are familiar with this. So I want you to refer to the notes or whatever the previous knowledge you got, you can refer to that one. So after this one, the very important point in the module 5, what you want to focus is optical transport network. So this one you can think of it as a group of facilities using optical fiber interconnection. OTN actually can think of it as a successor of SDH or a SONET. So SDH or SONET, where we have stopped the learning in digital switching systems. There just to recall you, we started with PCM primary multiplex groups 30 or 24 channel, which are multiplexed to provide the PDH, then PDH multiplexed to provide you the SDH, and SDH are multiplexed to provide you the SDH network. That is SDH or SONET, which are up to Gbps, 2.5 Gbps. If you are going to club such things, many such SDR or SONET, it is going to be the group of facilities with the optical fiber interconnection. So what kind of facility is going to give you? It is going to actually is based on ITUT G.709 rates with this hierarchy. So it is allowing you to build any type of network protocol like IP, internet protocol. It will allow you to build different network protocols like IP or DWDM or TCP or any desired network protocol will be to build. So much flexibility is there with the TN. But besides all these things, why we are going for the study of this OTN, optical transport network? So the problem with what technologies we have seen so far are we have discussed about SDH, we have discussed about WDM, we also discussed about DWDM. SDH provided standardized mapping of client signals. Okay. Enhanced PM at multiple layers, comprehensive fault detection and isolation. This SDH construction is based on multiplexing of the PDH, and PDH is based on the multiplexing of the PCM multiplex groups. So basically, the building element here is the PCM primary multiplex group. If you look at PCM primary multiplex group channels, just I will show you for your knowledge purpose. If you want, you can include this one, very important point. So this one is a 32 channel PCM frame format, acting like a building block in the construction of PDH. You can see out of 32, there are 1 to 15 and 17 to 30 are including speech time slots. Means data to time slots ratio to time slot to data is less. This time slots more compared to. your data we have basically here based on high signal is less, but high signal is more. That is the problem what you are discussing here. Ratio of voice to data is much less. So switching coming close to my line, and moreover SD is for single wave. Okay. So I think I would like to stop here because of some disturbance. I will continue my class later. So when there is no disturbance. So let me stop here. I will continue.